Hello. Today we are here to discuss the benefit of forensic psychiatry. In 2017, initially 33 mental health professionals wrote an editor to a paper in regard to our former President Donald Trump's mental health. This completely goes against the Goldwater Rules, Section 7 in the American Psychiatric Association Principle of Ethics, which states, "It is unethical for psychiatrists to give professional opinions about any public figures whom they have not examined in person and or have not signed a consent with." So he was protected and could brush off all allegations. However, in Dusky versus the United States, the unfair ruling in that case forged the new bridge between the everyday man and forensic psychiatry. In 1960, Dusky versus the United States shook the judicial and medical systems forever. Milton Dusky was a 33-year-old man with schizophrenia sentenced to 45 years in jail for a supposed violent crime, all because the officer stated he knew where he was during the questioning. However, his court case was appealed, and in the Supreme Court, he still served 20 years in jail. However, the change in precedent was set, and thus became the huge impacting change on psychiatry. The ins and outs of the revolving door: forensic psychiatry versus forensic psychology. Forensic psychology examines how mental health conditions and disorders apply to the criminal justice system. Those that earn a master's degree and a PhD in psychology or a doctor of psychology, a PsyD, may become a forensic psychologist. While it doesn't keep specific data for forensic psychologists working in the United States, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the BLS, reports that there were 166,600 psychologists working in the United States as of 2016, and that number is expected to grow by 23,000 by 2026, a 40% increase. That is double the national average for job growth over the same period of time. Forensic psychiatry, on the other hand, focuses on brain biology and applies to the criminal justice system as well. Practicing forensic psychiatrists are required to earn a doctorate in medicine, an MD. They are licensed to diagnose and then treat medical disorders. Forensic psychiatry is still a young field and small. 8% of the 25,000 psychiatrists, the BLS states, are practicing forensic psychiatrists. Forensic psychology and forensic psychiatry both involve the interaction of mental health and the legal system. However, different in educational background, requirements, and approaches to mental health. Their main focus is to assess the social behavioral elements, psychology, and focus on the medical aspects of medical health. Psychiatry. Forensic psychiatry making an impact in areas of specialization such as addictions, anxiety disorder, bipolar disorder, child and adolescent psychiatry, competency evaluations, criminal responsibility evaluations, dementia, dissociative disorders, functional neurological disorders, geriatric mental disorders, mood disorders, neuroimaging, neuropsychiatry, neuropsychological assessment, obsessive compulsive disorder, pain assessment, post-traumatic stress disorder, psychopharmacology, sleeping disorders, traumatic brain injury. After medical school, they have to join a fellowship, a forensic psychiatric fellowship, which is usually still with the school, but they're under observation. And their general coursework while they're under observation is, and again, I would normally be looking at my screen aid, but I can't get it to sync with the stuff, so sorry about that. I felt I should mention it too. General fellowship coursework includes biological factors and sociological determinants of crime and delinquency, civil law, criminal law, family law, federal criminal law, juvenile and dependency law, mental health law, correctional psychiatry, seminar on special issues in psychiatry and law, seminar on landmark and mental health cases. They also have 6 core observations that they have while in fellowship. And the 6 are core competency 1, patient care; core competency 2, medical knowledge; core competency 3, practice-based learning and improvement; core competency 4, interpersonal and communication skills; core competency 5, professional and ethical behavior; core competency 6, system-based care. After fellowship, a few things to examine would help everybody. And again, I would be going back to my visual aid And that would be emotional injury, fitness to stand trial, insanity defense, guilty by mentally ill, sentencing, mitigation, diminished capacity, volitional armed defense, competency to confess, sex offender evaluation, workers' compensation, fitness for duty, psychiatric malpractice, sexual harassment, workplace violence, brain injury, malingering evaluation, wrongful termination, conservatorship, guardianship, testimony capacity, automatism, and other affirmative defense, bail evaluation, sex predator evaluation for registration, release of insanity, equity, dangerousness, competency to witness to testify, waiver to adult court, juvenile placement, parental fitness, termination of parental rights. And after all these benefits, let us not forget that in conclusion, when we reference the term cruel and inhuman or degrading treatment or punishment, we should interpret so as to extend the widest possible protection against abuses, whether physical or mental, including holding of detained or imprisoned persons in conditions which depriving him or her temporarily or permanently of any of the use of their five senses, such as sight or hearing, their awareness of place and passing time, as stated by the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, body of principles for protection of all persons under any form of detention or imprisonment, New York. United Nations 1988, as per the U.S. National Library of Medicine, National Institutes of Health, and this, okay. And my works cited are the Med Stanford, the National Library of Medicine, National Institute of Health, Maryville EDU, Keck USC EDU, Peoria Medicine UIC EDU, and the Atlantic. Thank you very much for your time and consideration.